Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Philip Middleton, Chairman of the OMFIF Digital Monetary Institute, and it falls to me to end the day to sum up on where we've come so far in our conference. It has been an exciting day, focusing principally on retail central bank digital currency, or digital fiat money by another name. We've had a host of insightful panelists and contributors from around the world who've really made the day sing for us, to whom many heartfelt thanks. We've also had over 1,000 participants from right across the globe, and thank you to all of you for your questions, observations and chat throughout the day. That's been very, very valuable. And just amongst those 1,000 participants, we've had representatives from over 120 countries around the globe, 120 central banks and government institutions, and several hundred major private sector companies, both from the financial sector and technology sector, and indeed from elsewhere. And we have really had a fascinating colloquium and dialogue between public and private sectors, which is the whole point of the OMFIF Digital Monetary Institute, to get us debating some of these major issues as a private group and exchanging ideas between people who are shaping the digital future. And of course, all this comes against the background of a tragic pandemic, which has changed our behaviors both as individuals and as businesses and as governments right across the globe forever. And against the tragedy, it has ignited innovation, it has accelerated e-commerce, and it has driven forward the advent of the digital economy. And the digital economy requires a digital means of payment, which is either going to be sovereign, it's going to be private, it's going to be crypto, it might be something else. And we have seen an explosion of activity and innovation. And at one level, over 80 central banks around the world now have active projects to explore possible introductions of a central bank digital currency. And we heard from two that have already introduced them, the Bahamas and their sand dollar, and the People's Bank of China with the ECNY, and more on the horizon. Those of you with us towards the end of the afternoon would have heard a fascinating discussion about the Eurozone and whether or not we're going to see a digital euro. And we also asked whether we are standing on the threshold of a revolution in both financial infrastructure and financial markets, and a wholesale upheaval in payment instruments, both within domestic economies and cross-border. Or are we looking towards a managed transition to an upgrade and modernization of the status quo? And we heard advocates of both approaches and people with vested interests in both approaches. We had some very big discussions of what problem is central bank digital currency trying to solve. Is this all about monetary sovereignty? Is the ability to issue currency, whether in cash or digitally, the ultimate expression of sovereignty? Is it a backup to existing systems? Does it give us belt and braces for financial sector resilience? Does it enable a drive towards financial inclusion? Something particularly important for island economies, as we heard from the Bahamas. Does it improve the efficiency of markets in terms of cost, in terms of speed of settlement, in terms of resilience? Does it allow us to do other things in terms of programmable money and smart contracts, smart money? And can it all be done whilst preserving financial stability and not destroying fractional reserve banking and the commercial banking system while we're doing it? And if we're not to have a Wild West, or indeed a savage East, then many speakers emphasize the need for digital currency interoperability, for cooperation between public and private sectors, and for strong global cooperation between public authorities in terms of setting standards, regulatory, legal, interoperability standards, technical standards, and indeed ensuring open architectures for all those who were deemed qualified and suitable to play in this new environment. All of which set the stage wonderfully for tomorrow. So I wish you good morning or good night wherever you are. You can catch up with sessions that you missed or ones that you particularly want to see again on the website. You'll see a whole list of videos and recordings there if you haven't had enough of it yet. And we do hope you will join us again tomorrow morning at 0900 London time, when we kick off our day with a discussion about wholesale CBDC with Monsieur Denis Beau, the Deputy Governor of the Bank of France, whom I can tell you is very well worth getting up for and well worth listening to. That will be a firecracker start to our day. For the meantime, it falls to me to thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for being with us. I look forward to seeing you virtually at least tomorrow. And for now, good night from a very wet and cold London. Good night to you all. Have a good rest of your day and have a good evening. Bye.